So you worked at the bank? You worked at the bank? You were president, vice president, you were? Just worked there? Okay. Everybody else is looking like, yeah, what'd you do there, Bob? Got a joke for you. Guy goes into the bank, Bob, and he's got a gun, and he robs the bank, and he kills everybody behind the teller counter. It was a big bank. And he looks at the lady standing there, and lady's in line, and he turns around next to her, and he goes, you see what just happened? And the lady says, yeah. And he goes, can you identify me? And the lady goes, yeah. Turns around to this other lady, and he goes, you see what just happened? And the lady says, yeah. And he goes, can you identify me? And the lady says, yeah. Turns around to this guy, and he says, you see what just happened, mister? And the guy says, yeah. And he goes, can you identify me? And the guy says, no, but my wife could. All right, that's a little joke you guys can have if you want. So, what else is going on? Traveling all over. I was up in northern Michigan. Anybody from Michigan? Okay, are you? What part? Detroit? Okay, Motown. I was up in Holton, Michigan. You ever heard of that? Way where they love to shoot. These people come up to me and they're like, hey, you're funny there, yeah. And I'm like, well, thank you. And they're like, we were thinking maybe you want to go deer hunting with us. I'm like, what do you do? And they go, we get a case of beer, get our rifles, get drunk, and shoot. I'm like, yeah, I'd love to be in the woods with 5 white guys with rifles and beer. I don't think so. I'm like, I wouldn't even know how to fry a deer if I caught one. Okay. Y'all looking at me like, you don't fry deer. Oh, you know we'll figure out how to fry it if we get one. Glad we can joke around. A lot of people you can't joke with. I was at your 7-Eleven here in town, and the guy at the register had an arm missing. And I thought he had a game going on where there were prizes, you know, where you could win stuff. Because he had a button on his vest, and it said, ask me where it's at. And I'm a good guesser. So I'm like, is it in your car? And then he goes, what? And I'm like, the arm. And then he flipped me off. I wish I could see the way you guys are looking at me. Like, well, what did he do after that? You can't joke with a lot of people. You can't joke with Chinese people. Did you know that? Work with me, people. You can't. Like if you're at a restaurant and the waiter comes up to your table, you can't look at him and go, oh, give me one egg wall. He's like, oh, you're very funny, yeah? You go 7-Eleven, make fun of man's arm. I was at the dollar store. You ever do this? You ever go to the dollar store, pick up something and go, how much is this? And just watch the girl behind the counter go, I need a price check. And the kid in the stock room goes, it's $1! I hate working with her. She had me checking prices all day. Now, a lot of non-smokers here. I noticed that. I was the only one smoking outside, me and the chef. I'm teasing. The chef's looking at me like, what? No, a lot of people, you can't smoke a lot of places, man. You know you can't smoke in a Catholic church? Any Catholics here? You can't smoke in your church if you're Catholic. I didn't know this. I thought they were smoking. The priest was walking around singing. So I lit up. And this lady goes, you can't smoke in here. And I'm like, here comes a kid with an ashtray. It's a collection plate. Work with me, people. I'm going to be here for an hour. You invited me, all right? 2 blondes go to this bar. Bartender comes up to the girls and he goes, can I get you girls something? And the one blonde goes, we'll take 2 beers. So they get 2 beers and they toast each other. And here's to 52. And they suck the beers down. Bartender comes up to him again and he checks on him. He goes, you girls doing all right? Can I get you something else? The one blonde goes, we'll take 2 more beers. So they get 2 beers again and they toast. Here's the 52. And they suck the beers down. The bartender says, what are you celebrating? What, a birthday? What's going on? And one blonde says, we finished a puzzle and we did it in 52 days. And the bartender says, and you're celebrating? And the other blonde says, on the box it said 2 to 4 years, all right? So don't.